Join us as we make a trip to Japan exploring Osaka, Kobe, Kyoto, and Tokyo. We'll be sharing good food to eat and tips for attractions. So let's go! To end off our trip to Osaka, we spent 2 days in Universal Studios Japan. Be there early, especially if you want to be the first few into the park. People start queuing from 7 AM onwards, so start queuing early. Check the opening timing of the park via the website. Although it states that it opens at 9 AM, they actually open 1 hour earlier. So that's why people start queuing from 7 AM. Purchase your tickets online via Klook, as tickets usually sell out. Now the ticket pricing goes this way. If you want to enter the park, you have to buy a studio pass. If you want to get early access, it's an additional cost. If you want to get the fast pass or the express pass, it's again another additional cost. If there is one snack that you're gonna eat in USJ, please eat the smoked chicken leg. It is so good. The chicken leg had a very nice smoky taste to it, and it was juicy and tender. My next tip would be to get early access when you buy your tickets online via Klook. This means that you enter the park 15 minutes earlier than everyone. And if you are spending 1 day only in USJ, I would suggest you get it because ride wait timings, food wait timings are all extremely long and you don't want to waste time. The hot dog wasn't outstanding, however, I have to say that the sausage was crisp and crunchy. My next tip, which is a very important tip, is to get the express pass, especially if you're spending only 1 day in USJ. My husband and I decided to get it because even though it's really costly, however, we saw videos of long wait timings and we didn't really want to waste our time in USJ queuing. So we got the Express Pass despite the price. We got the Universal Express Pass 7, which includes Backdrop and Spider-Man, as well as the timed area entry tickets for Super Nintendo World and Harry Potter. So once you receive your tickets from Klook, they will give you all the timings for all the rides as well as the timed area entry, so make sure you follow them. Walking towards the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and listening and hearing the theme song, it just made my heart so excited that we're finally here. We entered the Wizarding World of Harry Potter following our timed entry. However, there wasn't anyone checking, so I think for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you don't really need to get a timed entry, you can just enter. The ride Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey was an amazing ride. It's like a 4D ride. However, if you are a person who tends to get motion sickness, I would suggest you not to take this ride because it can really affect you. Considering that this is like theme park food, the food was actually really not bad. The roast beef was moist and tender, it wasn't dry, and the black beer beef stew, the beef was really very tender. Want to get butter beer without having to wait a really long time because the queue is insane, you can actually order the butter beer inside the 3 broomsticks, which is what we did. My next tip is to download the USJ app. It has a map of the entire place as well as wait timings for rides. And what you can do, which is what we did, is to save the rides that you really want to take so that you can plan your day and you can see the wait timings and then you know how to move around the park. I spent the entire day really looking forward to eating churros, and this was the first churro that we had, a chocolate one. However, it was such a letdown. It was dry, it was hard, and it wasn't even tasty at all. Super important tip: if you are going to Super Nintendo World and you want to get the power bands, purchase them at a cart outside of Super Nintendo World because the shops inside are insane. The queue wait timings are so long and it's so crowded, and they usually tend to sell out inside Super Nintendo World as well. If you manage to get the time area tickets for Super Nintendo World, make sure that you're there on time because the people there will definitely check your timings and they tend to turn people away if it's not your timing yet. After a whole day in the park, we're finally entering Super Nintendo World! All around the area in Super Nintendo World, you can play and collect coins if you have the power bands. However, each of these areas had a really long queue just to play, so I would think twice if you really want to play. Mario Kart Cooper's Challenge was so fun. My husband and I were literally just competing with one another to see who could collect more coins, and of course, my husband won. Yoshi's Adventure was really cute. However, it's not exactly a fun and exciting ride, so if you really do not have time, I think you can actually give this ride a miss. By the time we finished the 2 rides, it was quite late, so we decided to have dinner at Kinopio's cafe, and I have to say the food was actually really good. My husband's burger was really nice, the bacon was really smoky, and I had the hamburger steak which was moist, so all in all, it was a nice end to the day. We visited USJ sometime in October, so they were celebrating Halloween and they had the Halloween Horror Nights. And unlike Singapore where you have to purchase a separate ticket, in Japan you don't have to. If you're already in the park, you can actually just enjoy Halloween Horror Nights. USJ is located pretty far from Osaka city center, So if you can, I would suggest to stay in one of the hotels located near the park. This way you can save on traveling time and you don't have to travel back and forth. We stayed in Oriental Hotel Universal City, which was newly renovated, and it is located like just a 5 minutes walk to the park. It's day 2, let's go! First ride of the morning, the flying dinosaur. We actually took this ride the day before, but my husband really enjoyed it and decided that he wanted to take it a second time, so we made this ride the first stop. Despicable Me Minion Mayhem is another 4D ride which is really pretty cute, so if you have time, do take this ride. If you love roller coasters, you have to take this ride. There's no other ride that I've been on that's like it, because you are like lying down and then you're on a roller coaster. Hollywood Dream, the ride, is basically a roller coaster. However, it has the usual roller coaster that goes forwards, and then it has the roller coaster that goes backwards. This already we took yesterday using our express pass. So one of the food that I really wanted to try is at Mario Cafe in store. However, on the first day, the queue was so bad that it wasn't just in the store but outside of the store as well. And it was a snaking queue. Another must order when you are in Universal Studios Japan is the Mario's Cap Strawberry Shortcake and the Luigi's Cap Grape No Bake Cheesecake. Both of these were really good. Even the drinks were really yummy. So if you are able to queue and get the food, enjoy. I'm really glad that my husband and I decided to spend 2 days in Universal Studios Japan. On the first day, we took all of the rides that we wanted to do, and on the second day, we could spend our time walking around and enjoying the park. We got to try the food that we really wanted to try that we couldn't on the first day. We got to take some rides as well that we couldn't, and we got to enjoy the parade. But since we had the time today, we decided to queue for it, and we got the salted caramel churro. And oh my gosh, again, it was such a letdown. It was also hard and dry and it didn't even taste like salted caramel. We were just sitting down and resting our feet when we realized that about an hour before the parade was to start, people were already sitting along the sidewalks and getting a place to sit/stand so that they could enjoy the parade up front. And so we decided to do that as well. And we were just people watching, and I realized that in Japan, people here really do dress up for Halloween. And look at all of the amazing costumes that they had on. The parade was so fun to watch, and it was such a nice end to our trip in USJ. It was like a really giant dance party because suddenly in the middle of the parade, all the floats stopped and then they invited everyone onto the road to have fun and enjoy and dance and take pictures. And then they even exploded like a bunch of like sparkles and confetti. All in all, our 2 days in USJ was the best fun that we've had in a theme park in a long time. Definitely a must visit if you are in Osaka.